Greetings. This is Amir Fatir, broadcasting to you live from my gated community in beautiful downtown Smyrna, Delaware. I want you to forgive any of the noise that you may hear in the background. As you may know, I'm speaking to you from a penitentiary where there are several people always about and moving about and talking. So, the subject we want to discuss is Noah's Kundalini son. It's important to know that the scriptures have three basic themes that everything in scripture is talking about. One of those themes is initiation, another theme is meditation, and the third theme is the raising of the Kundalini, the life force, the chi. And this particular passage is about the Kundalini primarily, but they interweave with one another. And the languages that the scriptures use to discuss these things are the sciences known as astrology, alchemy, the tree of life, and other disciplines that are necessary to know, pranayama, aspects of what we know of as yoga. These disciplines and arts and sciences are the ingredients that make up the body and the substance of Scripture. Without knowledge of these things, it's impossible to know what the Scripture is saying because it was never written to be read by the average man and woman in the street or on the farm or in the desert. It was meant for advanced initiates and their students. So let's discuss Noah's Kundalini son. The Arabic word translated Noah is Nuh. The H has a K sound and sounds like Nuh. Nak, N-A-K, is a Kemetic word for serpent. In some texts, Noah is believed to be the offspring of one of the serpent gods called the Anunnaki. Energy moves in a serpentine wave. The three expressions and paths of the Nuh serpent force are called Noah's sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. In yogic theory, there are three primary energy channels running up the spine. The central channel is called the Sushumna. The one beginning at the right nostril is the Pingala. The one beginning at the left nostril is the Ida. These are called different things in various books. In yoga, the Sushumna Nadi is the Kemetic Ra, which in Hindu astrology is called Ravi. In Western astrology is the sun, and in Genesis is Ham. The Ida in the Kemetic is called Mut, Nekabet, and Rahu. In the Hindu astrology it's called Rahu, and in Western astrology it's called the North Node and the Dragon's Head. In Genesis it's called Nekabal, which you can see is similar, comes from the Egyptian Nekabet. It's called Nekabal, Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, I believe, and Japheth. The Pingala is called Ketu in the Kemetic, as well as Wachet or Uachet, and it's called Ketu in the Hindu, and it's the dragon's tail or the south node in Western astrology, and it's named Shem in Genesis. In some places, Ham is called the eldest son, and in other places, Shem is called the eldest son. This is due to confusion over their energetic properties, as we shall see. The astrological symbol for the dragon's head looks like a horseshoe with two little circles at each end of the horseshoe upright. And the tail is the opposite. It's with the circles atop and the U. It's like a U, upright U, but with two circles on the top of it. The head has an effect like Neptune and the tail like Uranus. Now, if you study astrology, most astrology will say that the dragon's head has an effect like Jupiter and that the tail has an effect like Saturn. Well, you can try it out for yourself and see whether they or your brother from the east has it right. Let's look at a scriptural verse. And there appeared a wonder, that means a symbol or a sign in heaven, or that means your astrology chart. And behold, a great red dragon, which is Kundalini, having 7 heads, that means 7 types of consciousness, and 10 horns. This is a tree of life, spirit towers, and 7 crowns or chakras upon his head or glands, and his tail, that's Ketu, the south node, drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to the earth. That's in Revelation chapter 12, verse 3 to 4. The Bible is full of coded references to the high sciences written to deliberately confuse the ordinary person. But it is time to crack the code, to loose the 7 seals off the book, so that man and woman no longer grope in the darkness, but instead walk in the full light. In Kemetic scripture, Uachet is the hot current, and its sacred name or mantra is Ham. But in the Bible, Ham became code for the central path. Shem and Japheth, or Pingala and Ida, both have 7 sons. That means that they generate the 7 chakras where they crisscross. All their sons have sons, or acupuncture meridians, also called nadis. Genesis 10, verse 19 says, "These are the 3 sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread." The entire body, or earth, is permeated with the acupuncture points and channels generated from the main 3 channels. In the earliest tantras, or the writings of the Black Dravidians that form the basis of what we call Eastern Yoga, in the earliest tantras, 4 chakras were discovered, located at the forehead, the throat, the heart, and genitals. These are Ham's 4 sons. Because that system is earlier, Ham is called the eldest son. One side current, which is Shem or Pingala, produces heat, while the other, Japheth or Ida, produces cold. You can prove this for yourself by closing off the left nostril and breathing only through the right for 5 minutes. Your body will get hot and your metabolism will increase. To cool the body down, do the opposite. Close the right nostril and breathe through the left. This will slow metabolism down. The 2 currents function to ignite Kundalini, which is the warm current, when they are in balance. Although we think of Kundalini as hot, it can also be cold. The propensity to regard Kundalini as hot led to confusing Uachet Eka Ham with the central Sushumna current or nadi. In reality, Ham should be the special name for the Shem canal, or Kem, or Kam should be the name for the middle or the ascending pillar. It is the nature of energy in the Pingala and Ida to move downward or backwards, and for energy in the Sushumna or Ham to go upwards or forward. This is called the raising up of the Kundalini. And Noah began to be an husbandman, and he planted a vineyard, and he drank of the wine and was drunken. And he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his 2 brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. Genesis chapter 9, verses 20 to 23. Astrologically, Rahu, or the north node, and Ketu, or the south node, move retrograde, or backwards, around the zodiac. This is expressed as Shem and Japheth going backwards into Noah's tent. I hope this gives you a better understanding of the symbolism that are used in the scripture, and hope it helps you to move forward with your spiritual advancement and apply the scriptures in the proper way in this time of transition from one world order to another world order. This concludes that section.